issues to do with Ipswich West. And I'd like to say to the people of Ipswich West, you had a very good representative in Jim Madden. Jim now has actually left. But it's up to you to vote for someone different, someone who will be a real voice for you and not just vote on party lines. Queensland and also Ipswich West is in one hell of a mess. The hospital system is failing, the policing, the escalating crime, the cost of living, rising electricity prices. This is all due to Labor being in the state and under control, let alone talking about what happened with COVID, losing experienced people in the health profession. We also have the educational levels that are dropping and our children are failing. This is your opportunity to actually have a true voice. And I'm proud to announce Mark Bone as standing for One Nation as our candidate. Please remember to those people in this electorate, One Nation stood in 1998 and we gained the seat with 46% of the vote. You have that opportunity again because Queensland needs a change. Queensland needs people who are going to get out there and fight for you, not follow party lines and follow the bureaucrats. You want change. And we are giving you that opportunity. So I'd like to introduce you to Mark Bone.
Thank you, Pauline. Good afternoon all. How's it? Thank you, Pauline, for endorsing me for the upcoming by-election. It's sort of come as a bit of an early election, a call for the area, as has Inala, because of a couple of our local MPs resigning. So I'm happy and very pleased to be endorsed by One Nation, and I'm looking forward to working on behalf of all the people of Ipswich West and speaking to them all with all their issues and that we can take forward over the next few months. Thank you.
What do you bring to the table, Mark? Tell us a little bit about.
I've been self-employed since I was 18, so that's a long time. 50 odd years has been self-employed, so I have worked out how to the good times and the bad times, but I'm still here. And now it's time to give back the experience that I've learnt from over those years, from all the different governments I've seen, both federally and state, come and go. And I believe I've got something to offer to the local people of Ipswich West.
What are your priorities? What are the big issues do you think that really matter to the people of Ipswich West?
They're very similar to what we have nationally, and it happens to be health issues, youth crime, or all types of crime, and probably those two are the main two. But small business is struggling as well with all the red tape that's currently in place. So we're looking that we can do something to help there as well.
Is there any potential fixes that you have in mind for those issues, or at least ways to ease those issues?
We've got One Nation have got policies in a lot of those areas, and we'll just be supporting those and promoting those. But yeah, that's things that I'll work with the local people over the next few months and work out what exactly they would like me to present if we were to win the election.
Talking on crime, there might be one for maybe both of you. It's not quite in this electorate, but not that far away. We had that terrible stabbing at the shopping centre in Redback Plains.
Yep.
I wonder if I get firstly just a reaction to that. It's obviously shocked not only South East, but I think Queensland in general.
I'm disgusted. That woman is basically my age, and to have her 6-year-old see her attacked and murdered by allegedly Africans. And as I've said, and I will not stop saying it, we need to ensure the people that are going to move to Australia, into our country, are compatible with our culture, our way of life, and will accept our rules of law. It is disgusting what is happening. This has been happening all over the state, and we have to stop it from progressing any further. We want a strong police force. We want strong detention centres. We want strong prison system. We want strong courts that will actually lock up these people who do not belong in our streets. I'm sick and tired of seeing people in this state locking themselves behind bars and not the people that are responsible. This is not the society that I grew up in, and it's not the society I want to hand on to my children. So I can assure people, One Nation will bring strong justice and policing to this state.
There's several people involved in this incident, all African of appearance.
Yes.
One of them has been handed in. We've seen their faces. There are people that know who they are. Do you think that potentially they're being protected by the African community?
Look, I can't comment on that, whether they are being protected. But I'll tell the African community, this is your home. You have a right, and your children and your friends and your neighbours have a right to be safe. If you know who they are, please turn them in. This is not the country that you've left. This is new homeland for you. And I call on the people, please protect what we have.
In terms of the by-election, 15% of the vote in 2020, there's a bit of a swing against One Nation. What do you think has changed 4 years on? How do you rate your chances of making a real impact in this by-election?
Look, I think what happened last election was just after the COVID, and people were led to believe the Premier and the Labor Party kept them safe. We found a lot of information since that's not the case. A lot of people were scammed, fooled, lost their jobs, and for what reason? And this is why I have pushed for a Royal Commission into the COVID response. I hope people realise there's a lot that's changed since then. The cost of living is actually horrendous, the rising cost of electricity. I went to the Ipswich Hospital just last week, about 10 days ago, with my son who was in pain and agony. Do you know he was told there was a 10-hour wait? 10 hours in our hospital system in this state. I think it's disgraceful. The ambulance ramping that goes on. You've got paramedics, you've got medical profession, you've got nurses, teachers, doctors that have lost their jobs because of the COVID, because of our bureaucrats and our politicians. People have to realise you are the ones in power, not the politicians. You decide your future. If you want to put up with this rubbish that you're dealing with now, the rising cost of living, your way of life, the standard of your children, the escalating crime, then keep voting for the same old people and get the same old. But don't whinge about it. Do something about it. I have stood in for politics for a long time to bring about change. Just about everything that I have warned the people about, I have informed the people about, I have fought for, has actually been the case. And I will continue to fight. And I'm proud of Mark Bone that he's actually put up his hand to stand as a candidate to represent you, the people. Please consider giving One Nation your vote, a vote for change and a vote for your future.
If it's close, have you given a thought to preferences?
Preferences belong to the people, but I tell you what, One Nation will not support another Labor term in Parliament.
So LNP, definitely.
It'll be definitely if there is a balanced power, and I hope that there is a balanced power with One Nation, because I don't really trust the LNP either. Chris Foley was actually going to go ahead with a treaty in Queensland, which we don't need, especially in light of how Queenslanders voted against the Voice. We don't need that. We want a united state where people are all equal, not divisions in our state. And that's why One Nation will never, ever, ever agree with a treaty with other Australians. We are all Australians.
A bit further ahead to the state election, again, any thoughts or discussions around preferences for the state election in October?
Like I said, I would not give Labor Party another term in government at all. And I think that's how the people are starting to wake up. They're full of bureaucrats, they're full of people that don't have an understanding and not connected with grassroots Australians. Why would you give these people, these politicians, another term when they're not in tune with the grassroots Australians? They have no idea what the hell's happening in our state. They're destroying industries, in the state. Where's the progress? Where's the dams? Where's the water supply that we need? Why the influx of the people in the state when we don't have the infrastructure to keep up with it? Why is there hospital systems, education failing? It's all failing. Our policing, why aren't police joining the police force? It's too much bureaucratic red tape. Your businesses are failing as well, They can't get the workers. But this is due to Labor, and like I said, the coalition, do I have faith in the coalition? No, we need one nation who actually has the policies, and a lot of major political parties picked up a lot of my policies. But if you're going to get a voice in Parliament, you really need to look at one nation. Go to our policies, look at our policies, look at what we stand for. And then you will actually have a better understanding of what we're fighting for.
Can the coalition do a little bit in the next 6 months to convince you that they should be supported over Labor? You said you don't support major parties, either party at the moment, but I guess it sounds like the coalition have got a bit more of a window in terms of convincing
Let
you.
me just explain to you. I don't own the preferences. I can only recommend. It is actually the voters that have to understand the preference system. And as I tell people all the time, give One Nation your number one vote. And you think to yourself, well, if we don't get up, who's your next best choice? And I would suggest to you, it's not Labor. So I will not be giving preferences or recommending preferences to Labor over the LNP. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Right. All right.
Thank you.